various things that you can do. So, hey
y'all. I love you too. Hey you guys. Well, so it's a pleasure to be here and to share with some amazing experts within the confines of our creative space. I'm Ericka Mauldin, but you'll find me. Okay, people in the industry say I have two personalities, so it's Ericka Mauldin, but you'll find me on social media, Ericka Porter MBA. I have over 30 social media pages, so I deal with social media management, all that kind of stuff. So, from this perspective of the industry, So yeah. And I have a website, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But I am a producer by trade. I've been in the television and film industry since 1997. Okay. My oldest is 28. I have two granddaughters. My youngest is 15. So I have 4 kids and 2 granddaughters who are absolutely amazing. So I was a babe. I was a semi-babe in the industry because I was like in my early 20s when I started. I was at the University of Cincinnati, so I've received my degree in this industry, electronic media from University of Cincinnati, my undergrad. My master's from Xavier University. I have an MBA, so I've been a business owner since for 20 years now. 20 years. And so my first job in the industry was a receptionist because I knew that I wanted to be in TV, but I just didn't know how to get in there. And the only way that I figured that I could get walk into the business was to say, hey, I'll take the job as a receptionist. So I did it for like 3 months. But when I was going through my interview, I told her, I said that, you just need to make sure that I'm in the, you'll know that I'm going to be in the back in about 6 months. So, this is temporary, but I'm going to give 2,000% while I'm up here, but expect that you guys are going to have to shift me in about 6 months, and that's what they ended up doing. I ended up becoming working an engineer. I was the only female in the engineering department, so I was switching TV shows. At that time it was like the other Steve Harvey show and the Jamie Foxx shows and all that kind of stuff. And simultaneously I was working as creative production. So I was an associate producer, so I would write commercials for like car dealerships and stuff, and this was all done in Cincinnati, so I'm not even from here originally. So I'm like an outsider and living in now, but I've been here for 10 years. But I've been here now 10 years as of October. When I came, and I'll say this, now what inspired me, that actually helped me to really understand that there's power in words, there's power in vision. When you're given something, it's going to come to pass, but you have to actually be conscious of it, and then you've got to apply action. You can't expect it to fall, from you. So I was 16 when I had my first daughter, okay, and I was living in the projects. I've been, y'all, if you look me up, you'll see all my story. I'm very transparent now. I didn't used to be this way, but it's all about branding. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, okay? So I was 16 years old when I had my first first child, and I came from a home of drug addicts, alcoholism, domestic violence, violence upon myself, was molested, raped, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I went through a lot growing up, and now today I'm motivated. I get hired across the country to speak at events talking about my story. So, but I went through a lot, and so when you are like in that dark place, you can't really see outside of that, and so you know that you've got these things that you're supposed to be doing, but it's you have a challenge getting to that, because you can't get past that hurdle, right? So you have to hold on to these things that are a part of who you are, and I'm talking about the vision, okay? So one day I was pregnant with my daughter. I was only maybe about 6 months at that time. I was very active still in high school. They put me on medical leave, so I was actually I had a tutor that was coming home. I was class officer from home, okay, living in the projects, about to have a baby at 16, all this other stuff going on, right? And it was an episode of Oprah. So when she had to do an Oprah show, 4 o'clock, came on 4 o'clock in Cincinnati, and she started talking about when you write when you have a vision, you have to make it plain, right? So, you know things that you want the universe to give back to you. You need to put it out there, right? So that you can receive it, right? So I started writing a plan at like 16, like what the heck? What the hell was I going to, you know, like I really don't know too much farther than what I can see, you know, ahead of me, but my circumstances didn't allow me to see any of that, you know what I'm saying? So I wrote my first 7 goals, personally and professionally, and one of them was to own a production company. I wanted to do this. I was 16 years old. And it's so funny because years down the line, my goal list have gotten even more extensive. I mean, you know, and I'm doing them every year. You know, I do semi-annual too, okay? You know, I like to write things out, but one of the years when I first made it to Chicago, it was like the second year it was here in Chicago, I had on my list that I wanted to speak with Oprah. Now at that time, I had already done like a lot of like syndicated broadcasting related stuff, you know. I hadn't been in reality TV, I hadn't done any daytime talk shows, but I was like, I just want to talk to Oprah. I said I didn't want a job with Oprah, nothing, you know. 2009. 2009, I had just submitted to this was her last season, and Whitney Houston was going to be, you know, they were looking for Whitney Houston's biggest fans, and so I submitted something, and I had only been here 1 year, almost 1 year at that time. And so I get a phone call one day, and they're saying, hey, you know, this is Charvon from, that's her name. This is Charvon from OWN, and we were wanting to see if you would be interested. And I'm like, did you say? Hold on. So I want to cut. Yeah, because I was like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. So I'm like getting that much closer to Oprah. Yeah. Like that much closer. Because I knew when I moved here to Chicago that I was going to get that much closer to Oprah. Right? I was going to make it happen, right? Because I knew nobody. Like, I came here, I had all this wealth of knowledge and experience and connections. Then I'm a networker. I love to talk. I will connect. I love to connect people and make the magic happen. If it ain't with me, it's with somebody else. You know, it's about connecting the dots, right? So I'm out here, I know all these people out in Cincinnati, but I knew nobody up in here. I met with Dwayne Hirsch, you know, they had the business spotlight networking, but I still really didn't really know any industry people at that time. So I was traveling back and forth a whole lot. So, long story short, they made a huge mistake when they scheduled me, and then said, the producer said, well, whenever you want to come back, just give us some dates. Here's my cell phone number. So next thing I know, we're sitting in the audience, and I'm sitting directly in front of Oprah. And it was an episode with Wanda Sykes and her family, and Wanda Sykes' family was sitting right next to me. I'm sitting on the first row, and I'm like looking at Oprah. Like, I'm thinking like, didn't I write this down? And so I'm looking at her, and you know the whole time, and I'm just like anxious. My mother-in-law, they're like, come on, I'm thinking about something being all cool, like, yeah, we up in here, and I got us up in here. We got VIP, they walking us through, and everybody's looking like, who it is? I said, they just made some mistakes. They just didn't know that they had made mistakes, you know, when they booked us. So, you know, they gave us a VIP treatment for real. So, if anybody has watched Oprah or been in the studio audience, you'll see she takes her shoes off, okay? You know, that's her wind down, right? She takes her shoes off, she starts talking to the audience members, right? Steve Harvey does it too, but he doesn't take his shoes off. Yeah, right. Okay. All right, they all do it. They just don't take their shoes off. But she takes her shoes off, you know. And so people were yelling, "I love you, Oprah. We can't believe we're here." You know, all these other things, you know. And you know, something that said me say something. And so I said, you know what? I said, can I say something, Oprah? I said, you inspired me when I was 16. Wow. And she was like. And I said, I'll put you on my goal list this year. And I'm sitting right here and talking to you. And she was like, you put me on your goal list this year and you made it? Yeah. She said, you know, it takes people years, years to get in here and they don't have a conversation with me. And I'm looking at everybody's laughing and everything, having a really good time, right? And I said, but I said, I was watching the episode and I told her, I went back to when I was 16 and I told her what my circumstance was at that moment. And And she looked at me and she said, you know what? That's something I've been missing from my life. I stopped doing it maybe about 10 years ago. And she said, this conversation, this moment right here is inspiring me, re-inspiring me to get back to writing. So I said, I've coined what I've lived my life. You write it, you receive it, you believe it, it's yours. And that's why you're here today, okay? Because you all, this room is full of gifts, full of talents, full of creative, innovative people, right? I'm just a producer, okay? I love TV, I love film, okay? But I love TV, right? And I own these two companies. You know, I have one's called Edit Talent Group. You guys can look it up.
Edit Talent Group.
Yes.
Edit.
EDIT.
Add her.
And it's a media production staffing agency. So what I do after like all my years of, I was, you know, like it so happened that like as I'm growing, you know, I'm getting all this knowledge. I had these wonderful mentors, you know, that wasn't from my family, because my family wouldn't support me. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, we're gonna keep it real, because when we get to this space, this is the kind of things we have to deal with, right? I'm gonna keep it real always. Okay, all right? So they you know, they didn't want to support me, but I had people that wasn't in my blood that wanted to support me, that saw that I had visions, they saw that I had these gifts, and they just wanted to encourage me and push me to do what I needed to do for myself and for my family, because that's all I can think about, you know. And so you know, after so long, you know, like me, you know, having, you know, so Edit Talent Group is crew TV shows, so TV shows, corporate productions. So I've crewed like Empire, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Transformers movies, TV shows. We just did Miss Oda's Regrets, so I send them folks. One of my shows is down in this building.
Black Ink Park.
So we crew, but I also, you know, the visions don't stop. But you don't just get one. And I said, I want to move around because this is me, right? Yeah. But you don't just get one, right? You don't get one vision, right? So, what's this, 2018? 4 years ago, I woke up one day and I was like, I'm giving my resources and my time away to these production companies. Chris Abrego was my boss. My friend, yeah, he was my boss over another. Anybody know who Chris Abrego is?
He dominated reality TV.
Yeah, he's the reason why reality TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every show.
Yeah, Real World.
Every show they came.
Yeah. So he's the one. Chris Abrego is the one that really coined the whole idea of taking reality and celebrities. You know, so they call the celeb reality space, right? And so. You know, I had worked with all these different, I was providing service for all them, you know, because he was, at that time, that was called 51 Minds. That's when it, you know, but now he's actually Steve Harvey's, well, he was Steve Harvey's boss over here when he was down here in Chicago. Now, Endemol is in partnership with NBC and Steve Harvey, you know, his production company and what have you. So, anyhow, so I have Edit Talent Group, so we crew the TV shows. So sometimes or live productions. I do Steve Harvey's galas. I do Commons galas. I do, like agency. McDonald's is one of my clients. So I do like not just TV per se. I do things on the other side, right? So then, like I said, 4 years ago, I woke up. And, you know, I was already giving all this money and this time, you know, they kind of double back on me, you know, as a producer, you know, hey, you know all these people, you done got to Chicago and you know, I mean, all these people come to you and da-da-da-da, because at this point, I was, you know, I went from knowing nobody here to like when I go in events, like I got lines like wrapped around the corner, stopping just at, you know, just to get some information and say, you know, they have some questions or whatever the situation is, and I am like always open and giving. And I'm like, honey, look, take all this, all I got, all this, you can have it all, okay? Because I want all of us to grow. It ain't just about me, you know what I'm saying? So, so I ended up starting, you know, they were hiring me already to develop stories. It's called development, and distribution. So develop these reality TV shows, content, ideas, bring talent in because they wrap reality shows around people, okay? Not just around the idea of, but around the people, right? And then, helping them as far as the development and distribution process. I think at that time I was working with David Atunga, Jennifer.
Right.
Well, they never got married. We were working on a show, developing something for him at that time, and I said, you know what? I said, if they take another moment of my time, because they were double backing on me, because this industry will take advantage of you. Like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. They would try to take advantage of you, right? And you're thinking about, I just want to have relationships, I want to make sure my name get out there, all these other kids. But see, then what you do is you compromise who you are. You compromise your brand, okay? So, so I'm working and so I started the company. It's called Chicks That Pitch. So we actually help pitch original content, help to develop it, and help to distribute it. So I have went from very minimal relationships to relationships with nearly every production company and network, television network across the world. And it's truly been a blessing. I've got a business partner with Chicks That Pitch, She said, are you sure you want to be a business owner? I said, we're best friends. I said, I know. Because that's another thing, when you're working, with people and developing with your friends, you gotta also be careful. You know what I'm saying? So, let it be something that you see, because know that it's not going to be an easy relationship, okay? So we did the Chicks That Pitch. Chicks That Pitch, not only do we help to pitch people's ideas, so people send ideas to us and say, oh, I got a reality TV show idea, or I have a reality TV show. Okay, well, what makes you a reality TV show? Okay? And so they submit their stuff over to us. We, get their stuff in the database, and then we look at it and we say, when shows reach out to us, then, we can submit them over as candidates, what have you. So like on Black Ink Crew, they double back. They hire edit and they hire chicks, because I not just book the crew, some of the crew on there, but I also book the talent, so that's people that might be sitting in the restaurants. That might be somebody that, like I did, there was a pastor last season when Donna and Ashley were going through their stuff last year, and she was trying to take them to church.
King Drive. Dr. Leon finished.
Alan Conley.
At that time.
Alan Conley. So that's my scene. I produced that whole story. They brought the whole religious aspect in the Black King Crew. That was actually the first season where they were #1 in the reality space. That also one of my good friends, Valerie Edenhen, was the supervisor producer over that show. So, but yeah, very sweet, right? And so, I knew when I was young what I wanted, and I knew that it would happen, and I knew that if I wrote those things down and just put some action to it, they would come into fruition, right? But one of the things that I denied myself of was understanding that I needed to identify myself as a brand. Okay? How do you get people to know who you are? How do you get people to acknowledge what you do? What makes you so freaking special, so different from everybody else? Because everybody up in here, we can all strut our stuff. Every last one of us. Every one of us. But what makes you so special? And so it's kind of hard to get that message out there, okay, if you're not taking advantage of the free tools and the resources. And the free tools and resources start with this.
The internet.
Start with social media. Taking advantage of those things. So you got to identify what your brand is, right, before you start saying, well, I just want to be on TV. Because the one thing that the networks are looking for, the production companies look for, they're looking at your social media page. Yeah, they want to know if you're entertainment. That's why I can't agree with what she says, because it works for what for that portion of the industry. But for this industry, if you're going to be in TV, if you're going to be on film, you need to be yourself. I have a whole segment, a whole section on our website for real people talent. They literally are looking for people that are real, right? Shatima, real people talent. Real people. Whatever it is about you that makes you so extra special, right?
And I paid for it.
Yeah, and you get paid for it, right? Exactly.
I know what they were saying as far as, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but like I saw an interview with Black Ink was just at the job like before, just at my job before they new episode aired, and like I was listening to how like Four and Don and all of them was talking about how a lot of people think that those things are fake, but they actually real.
Well, okay,
Some of them are.
the stuff is real. The stuff is real, but it's a story-driven concept. So even though it's saying that it's unscripted, it's scripted.
Yeah,
I used to have a job. One of my jobs, I was a story producer. I literally had to sit back and watch. They had a camera set up, right? I sit back and I write everything that goes down, what time, and what was, and then highlight what was most important, and what seemed like it would be great for TV, and then I would send the notes over, and I would do it like a summary. You know, this is the crazy things that happened today, blah 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 blah. And so then they would take that, and the above the line team, you know, the lead producers, executive producers say, okay, Ericka just gave us some great story. This is what we need to pull from this, from this, and then we're gonna cut it together. And even if it was shot on a different day, it's gonna fit into that piece. So we talked about that. They call them pickups. So it's scripted, unscripted.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
But I've seen like exactly what you were talking about. I was at a couple of parties that Black Ink had, and it was the producers was literally saying, do this and do that, and I was like, really?
Yeah, and and here's the thing, part of the reason why I started Chicks That Pitch, because I was one of those producers that say, you know you want to go ahead and knock this crap out of her. You know you want to, you know you want to just say some instigate.
Right.
That was me. Okay, that's because I was getting the check for it. I was getting the check for it, but see, that's not me, right? I'm not an instigator. I'm not that. So, you know, I had to take matters into my own hands, okay, and create a space where I could really, truly, you know, help my vision to be manifested, right? And so I said, I want to do feel-good TV. I want to do stuff that makes people laugh, that makes people cry, you know, that just, you know, that helps to build communities and stuff. And there's so much stuff out there. And at that time, you know, they were talking about, we want ratchet, we want screaming, we want fighting, we want blood, we want liquor, we want, you know, and one day, and it was so crazy because, you know, Chris Ericka, we were on a phone call, was actually, it was really interesting because I was working on a project that involved a beauty salon that the show never came to fruition because she was running her mouth and it got to T.I.'s wife, Tiny. So when Tiny, I'm getting a phone call midnight, Tiny done got word that, you know, she done found out about a TV show that's, you know, being developed, you know, another hair show, Her and she kind of were working on their little hair show, the road trip thing, which only went one season. And so, you know, they said, well, we're going to pull our contract. This is when they were doing Family Hustle. We're going to pull our contract, making all these threats, what have you. So I'm on the phone, and Chris, I'm sick of this shit. all this controversy, like all the time. He said, at some point, we've got to have some feel-good stuff. Now, I had already, he didn't know, but I was already working on it. And so since then, you know, like I said, I've, you know, been able to help with talent, help to develop them. I got people that are, you know, models, strippers, you know, hosts of restaurants, professionals that have just retired or, you know, quit their, you know, their jobs after working 25, 30 years that are now like talent. And this market is overly saturated with opportunities, and it can be overwhelming though, right? Because sometimes you got people that don't want to tell the business. Okay. Then you got people, right? And then you got those that say, okay, well, we're gonna sign you up, but you're gonna have to change this, that, and this, and that, and that. Be who you are. Okay. If you want to be on TV, when I film, they first thing they ask, I said, well, I'll say, you know, well, I've got this amazing, you know, person and she's doing da 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 da, and then we go, well, what's her Facebook page look like? What's her Instagram? How many followers she on Instagram?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many views she got on her videos?
They want people with big followings
Yeah.
and views.
Yeah. And you can have, and here's the thing, you can have 2 Facebook pages, right? You can have your pro page, you can have your regular page. Your regular page you want to keep private, that's your business, okay? But that other page, whoever you are, identify not just with one role, okay? Not with just one role. If it's just modeling that you want to do, then let that just be it. But if you're trying to do a whole bunch of other things or trying to really open that space for yourself, you gotta be who yourself.
Yes.
You have to be, because that's how they relate to your brand. These days, shoot, people look at you sideways. If you're a business owner, and they make, okay, well, I ain't gonna give them my $20 because I don't know nothing about you. What you gonna do with that $20?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the attitude that this market has, you know? And so you can go on honey, I'm all out there. Honey, you gonna know about, just go and look. Right. Let me tell you something though, for real. What that did for me though, it started healing in me.
Yeah.
And then my healing, it was transferable to the world.
Yeah.
Right? So all these people out here like hitting me up on inbox. I need advice on relationships. I just need to talk to get through that. I had somebody inbox me yesterday that said she's been on suicide watch for 4 weeks.
Wow.
I deal with not just industry people, I deal with people that are really truly hurting, you know.
Yeah.
But they had to see my transparency because now I know that I'm fully walking into my mission. Because my mission is not my job.
That's it.
It's not. Your mission is not being a model. Your mission is not being, you know, social media guru. It's not. You know, your mission is so far beyond that. You know, so you have to identify what that is, right? And then coin your life, or adapt your life, you know, adjust your life to fit that. And if it means it's outside that box, so what? Because that's where you're going to get the exposure, right? Nobody says you got to be out the box to be and do it negatively. Nobody says you got to, you know, ass out, tits out. Nobody says you got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you want people to identify, you have to determine what in you makes you so special. What makes you so special? Think about that. What can you do with your eyes closed and your mouth taped shut and your hands tied together and your feet bound? Like, what can you do that you were born with and you ain't even got to be taught? That's where your money maker is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where your money maker is. So if you guys, I'm gonna leave it at that because there's a whole lot more I can do. But you know, and like I said, I speak. I just left. I gotta go back to Dayton. I just left Dayton. I gotta go to Roanoke, Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky. I do speaking engagements, so I do motivational speaking. It's a combination of how to turn your pain into purpose. And yeah. And,
that's what was in mine.
I mean, Ericka. Yeah, so it's turn your pain into purpose. And so, you know, now people know me. I was Ericka something. They call me Media Maven worldwide now.
Yes.
So, and I've got a book that's coming out. It's called Confessions of a Media Maven. So it's a memoir, it's a motivational memoir. So it talks about, you know, not just my personal life, but, you know, the career and, you know, my goal, you know, and my mission, my purpose to help to change the world one person at a time, you know. And so, you know, if you guys, you know, because I know I need a jet.
Yes.
But find me on all social media platforms and my website. And if I see any of y'all up in here again, and you say you ain't got a website, we're gonna have a real conversation. Because let me tell you something. You ain't got. Okay, yes, you want to get to the point where you can pay somebody, but there's a lot of stuff you can do out here where you ain't got to pay nobody to do it. Okay, you got Wix.
Yes.
You got Weebly. You got GoDaddy's a little boo, Jake.
Yeah.
But you got GoDaddy. But you know,
I got a website. Tell me really quick, because I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
As far as websites,
Yeah.
because I keep hearing that even as a mom you need a website.
Yes.
My question is, what are you putting on the website that you can't put on Instagram or Facebook?
Well, you know, here's the thing. Right, no. Here's the thing. You want to tailor your website so that it's a combination of those things. It's like, you know, it's almost like somebody looking at it's a curriculum vitae in the business world.
Yeah.
If you're a corporate, you know, if you had a corporate job, they want to look at your landscape, what you're all about, you know, and then, you know, take advantage of, so right now, okay, it may be a model website. What other services do you provide? Are you a host?
Yes.
You know, are you, you know, a brand ambassador? You know, so you want to have them different tabs. You
And
know
it
what I'm
gives them
saying?
a back through like a view of what you do. Like if
Yeah.
you're a photographer, people like, well, how can I see your work? They're gonna instantly go to your website, and that's how you get your bookings and you know all types of stuff.
They're gonna look at. They're gonna Google. Here's the thing: if you can Google a person and they don't have a website,
Yeah.
if somebody is calling themselves a company.
Yeah.
It gives credibility.
Yeah, more credible. Yeah.
You should be able to just Google their name and then a website is attached to them. That's it.
Yeah.
That was around before social media, so we ain't got no excuses. Okay. Yes. So, but yeah, find me on Ericka Porter MBA. DM me. Don't Facebook inbox me because I promise you get lost in the shuffle between the career industry folks and the people that just need some additional support and the dudes that always hit me up like crazy.
Look for you on Instagram?
Yeah, on all of them.
Are you
Ericka
on
Porter.
Twitter?
Ericka. And then I've got like all these different organizations, groups I developed. I started on social media, Black Girl Media Magic,
Yeah.
and all the all these women in industry here in Chicago, black women. I got a turquoise dress, Ericka. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can follow me. I'm not.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
Sorry.
not hitting on there. So yeah, you got me though. Yeah. So Black Girl Media Magic, Black Industry Makers. So if if you're a radio personality, or you want to do, learn, or get the experience and knowledge. We have hosts 6 days a week and we promote you. So, like I'm already thinking about having a couple of people to be interviewed, including Emily, on Black Industry Makers. We're very popular. It's on Facebook. So there's a lot of other things. But if you just reach out to me, I'll send you everything. But if you Google my name, especially the Ericka Porter MBA, you'll see all that stuff. So, yes.
Yeah, just a final thing. Just as a creative entrepreneur, I'm launching a magazine, I'm launching a independent radio station, I'm launching the fashion events, YouTube channel. Everything's connected. You are such an inspiration. I'm creating a voice for artists. And
yes,
my branding is on the YouTube of being a blogger and sharing my story.
Yeah.
Right? That's the next step. I can't just help everyone. I gotta also present.
You have to, right? Because see, you were brought into
that's where people are training me to put myself in the spotlight too.
Yeah.
And this event by Shatima, thank you so much for giving the opportunity for us to give our wisdom.
And you're absolutely correct. Let me tell you something. I did real good hiding behind the scenes for a really long time, and I had mentors like, you need to be a newscaster. I'll walk you into the TV station. I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm like, oh no, I feel like you're be creative and be smart. Be cute back here, y'all do that, and then, but the minute that I decided, the minute that I was like obedient to the universe, because I said I can't have all these other things if people don't know who I am, they can't identify with me. You know what I'm saying? So then after that started happening, then I started like when I'm booking people on these shows. Steve Harvey say, well, can we since you're available, you're already here, can you be a model on this segment?
Yes, she's a model.
I'm like, look, wow, there you go. So I'm doing Steve. I did Steve Harvey about 4 times, 5 times. Oprah's Life Class.
Yeah.
TLC, the recent one, new show, This Is Life Live. I found my sister. I had a long lost sister. Found her last year before her father died.
Oh,
so they hosted a new TV show.
Oh, so
yeah, it's a new TV show.
With
Devon Franklin.
Yes,
Devon Franklin. I've been on Empire.
Wow.
4 times, and then I end up now considered in the industry, and I didn't even pursue it, but I'm a supporting artist, so I'm no longer background. So when they hire me, my checks are a little higher.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, so I mean, because it's all fine and then we can explore all we want and do what we want to do and all this kind of, but if you're not getting checks, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So all right. So I love y'all.
Thank you.